Welcome to this edition of Ethical Sustainable Investment News and Analysis to Profit By. I'm Ron Robbins, an ethical investing pioneer for over 40 years, quoted in the Wall Street Journal, MarketWatch, the Globe and Mail, and numerous other media, and founder of the highly respected global ethical sustainable investing information website, Investing for the Soul. And please listen to my disclaimer statement at the end of this podcast. Now enjoy this podcast. Hello, Ron Robbins here. Welcome to my podcast, episode 92, published on October 21st, 2022, titled Top Geothermal and Medical Stocks, and presented by Investing for the Soul. Investingforthesoul.com is your site for vital global ethical and sustainable investing mentoring, news, commentary, information, and resources. Remember that you can find a full transcript and links to content, including stock symbols and bonus material, on this episode's podcast page located at investingforthesoul.com/podcasts. Now, if any terms are unfamiliar to you, simply Google them. Also, just a reminder, I do not evaluate any of the stocks or funds mentioned in these podcasts, nor do I receive any compensation from anyone covered in these podcasts. Furthermore, I will reveal to you any personal investments I have in the investments mentioned herein. Additionally, quotes about individual companies are brief so that I can get as many companies covered as possible in the time allowed. Please go to this podcast's webpage for links to the actual articles where you'll find much more great company information. So let's get started. One type of terrific renewable energy getting increasing attention is geothermal. This is an interesting article on some of the top producers. It's titled 6 Best Geothermal Stocks to Buy by Hamna Asim on yahoo.com. Here are some quotes. Geothermal energy refers to heat from within the subsurface of the earth. However, electricity generation is possible only near active geothermal regions. We have arranged the list according to the hedge fund sentiment around the securities, assessed from Insider Monkey's database of 895 elite hedge funds tracked as of the end of the second quarter of 2022. So beginning with number 6, Ormat Technologies, Inc. Hedge fund holders, 17. Ormat Technologies was founded in 1965 and is based in Reno, Nevada. The company engages in the geothermal and recovered energy power businesses in the United States, Indonesia, Kenya, Turkey, Chile, Guadeloupe, Guatemala, Ethiopia, New Zealand, and Honduras. JP Morgan analyst Mark Strauss on August 8th raised the price target on Ormat Technologies, Inc. to $97 from $90 and maintained a neutral rating on the shares. 5. Eversource Energy. Hedge fund holders, 32. Eversource Energy is based in Springfield, Massachusetts, operating as a public utility holding company engaged in the energy delivery business. Eversource Energy's geothermal pilot program will generate an affordable and low-carbon source of heating and cooling for residents and businesses. Eversource Energy delivers a 3.38% dividend yield as of October 6th. Mizuho analyst Paul Fremont raised the price target on Eversource Energy to $94 from $91 and reiterated a neutral rating on the shares. 4. Chevron Corporation. Hedge fund holders 59. Chevron announced in February 2021 that it is making an investment in Baseload Capital AB, a Swedish private investment company engaged in developing and operating low-temperature geothermal and heat power assets. On September 26th, Chevron Corporation, a Mitsui Oil Exploration Company Limited, announced a joint collaboration agreement to survey the technical and commercial suitability of advanced geothermal power generation in Japan. Piper Sandler analyst Ryan Todd on September 12th raised the price target on Chevron Corporation to $190 from $189 and kept an overweight rating on the shares. 3. Berkshire Hathaway Inc. Hedge fund holders 109. Berkshire Hathaway is a diversified American conglomerate with interests in multiple businesses including insurance, utilities, freight rail transportation, energy, and more. Berkshire Hathaway Energy generates, transmits, stores, and distributes electricity from natural gas, coal, wind, solar, hydroelectric, nuclear, and geothermal sources. Edward Jones analyst James Shanahan upgraded Berkshire Hathaway Inc. to buy from hold on September 12th. 2. Polaris Renewable Energy Inc. Hedge fund holders not available. That is the number of them. Polaris Renewable Energy was incorporated in 1984 and is based in Toronto, Canada. The company engages in the acquisition and development of renewable energy projects in Latin America. Polaris Renewable Energy Inc. operates a 72-megawatt net geothermal facility in Nicaragua, as well as hydroelectric facilities and solar projects. On September 28th, National Bank analyst Rupert Murrah initiated coverage of Polaris Renewable Energy with an outperform rating and a Canadian $21 price target. And number 1, Clamian AB. Hedge fund holders, again, not available in terms of numbers. Clamian was founded in 2011 and is headquartered in Kista, Sweden. The company provides heat power systems in Sweden and the rest of Europe, as well as Asia. Clamian AB serves the geothermal, industrial processes, oil and gas, and maritime industries. Its heat power system technology utilizes low-temperature geothermal energy and wasted heat energy emitted from engines and industrial processes to produce electricity." End quotes. Here's another article by Insider Monkey. This is titled 12 Best Ethical Stocks to Buy Now and is seen on yahoo.com. Here is a quote on their methodology and brief comments on each of their picks. Incidentally, only 2 are non-medical. Quote, "We ranked them from number 12 to number 1 based on the number of hedge fund holders in our database that held each stock at the end of Q2 2022. Starting with number 12, GlaxoSmithKline plc, hedge fund holders 34. GlaxoSmithKline develops, manufactures, and markets pharmaceutical products, vaccines, over-the-counter medicines, and health-related consumer products globally. 11. Deere & Company, hedge fund holders 54. Deere & Company manufactures agricultural machinery, heavy equipment, forestry machinery, and more. 10. Biogen Inc. Hedge fund holders 54. Biogen discovers, develops, manufactures, and delivers therapies for treating neurological and neurodegenerative diseases. 9. Amgen Inc. Hedge fund holders 55. Amgen discovers, develops, manufactures, and delivers human therapeutics worldwide. 8. Gilead Sciences Inc. Hedge fund holders 58. Gilead Sciences is a pharmaceutical company that discovers, develops, and commercializes medicines in areas of unmet medical need. 7. Bristol Myers Squibb Company. Hedge fund holders 69. Bristol Myers Squibb Company discovers, develops, and markets biopharmaceutical products worldwide. The company offers products for hematology, oncology, cardiovascular, immunology, and more. 6. Pfizer Inc. Hedge fund holders 70. Pfizer discovers, develops, manufactures, and sells biopharmaceutical products worldwide. The company is also a leader in COVID-19 vaccines. 5. Eli Lilly and Company. Hedge fund holders 70. Eli Lilly and Company discovers, develops, and markets human pharmaceuticals worldwide. 4. AbbVie Inc. Hedge fund holders 71. AbbVie discovers, develops, manufactures, and sells pharmaceuticals worldwide, including potential therapies in blood cancer treatment. 3. Tesla Inc. Hedge fund holders 72. Tesla is a leading electric vehicle manufacturer that also manufactures and sells battery energy storage and solar panels. 2. Merck & Company Inc. Hedge fund holders 79. Merck & Company is a healthcare company with two segments, pharmaceutical and animal health. Merck & Company Inc.'s pharmaceutical segment offers products in areas such as oncology, hospital acute care, immunology, neuroscience, and more. And number 1, Johnson & Johnson. Hedge fund holders 83. Johnson & Johnson researches and develops and sells products in various healthcare fields worldwide. The company's pharmaceutical segment offers products and researches products for rheumatoid arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, psoriasis, and much more. End quotes. Now, many ethical and sustainable investors review the carbon intensities of companies before considering them for investment. In that light is this article. It's titled, "The Biggest Carbon Losers." It's by Toby Heaps at Corporate Knights on corporateknights.com. Here are some quotes from the article. This year, Corporate Knights set out to identify global companies that have decarbonized faster than their peers while simultaneously increasing revenue. Our researchers evaluated the greenhouse gas emissions of more than 6,500 publicly traded companies. We eventually whittled down the list to 20 corporations from 8 sectors that cut the most carbon over the last decade. Many are far from sustainability leaders. They're among the world's largest oil majors, coal burners, and mining corporations. About 2/3 of the greenhouse gas emissions reductions achieved by these companies were genuine from the planet's perspective. Italian electricity and gas distributor Enel topped the Carbon Reduction 20 ranking. According to calculations by Corporate Knights, these 20 companies funneled just 35% of new investments in 2021 toward the sustainable low-carbon economy, as defined by the Corporate Knights Sustainable Economy Taxonomy. 12 of the 20 funneled more cash to shareholders and top executives than to growing their low-carbon sustainable business offerings. Note, we didn't include Scope 3. End quotes. Incidentally, the list and details of the 20 companies are found at the bottom of the article. Now let's talk green bonds with this article titled, "Amid Fixed Income Calamity, Green Bonds Look Interesting." It's by Tom Liddon on ETFtrends.com. Now some quotes from Mr. Liddon. Data suggests demand for green bonds is perking, indicating the Van Eck Green Bond ETF could be a fixed income exchange traded fund worthy of evaluation. The fund tracks the S&P Green Bond US Dollar Select Index, is down year to date, but that negative performance could belie opportunity with green bonds. Additionally, data confirm some investors remain enthusiastic about this still young corner of the global bond market. Companies and governments around the world raised more than $54 billion in green bonds last month, compared with more than $35 billion raised in August, data compiled by Bloomberg show. That's despite overall bond issuance in the US and Europe dropping significantly, reports David Caleb-Mutua for Bloomberg. End quotes. And lastly, we have this article titled, "5 Green Companies to Invest in and Why They Will Multiply Your Investment by 20 times." Well, that's quite a claim. It's by Market Trends on analyticsinsight.net. Here are some quotes on each of their picks, which includes some eco-tokens. 1. First Solar Inc. With a large manufacturing presence in the US, this solar panel builder will be among the biggest winners from the Inflation Reduction Act. The company stands alone in the industry with its differentiated semiconductor and streamlined manufacturing process, which yield unparalleled quality and reliability. 2. Tamadoge. Tamadoge is the first meme coin with different features like Metaverse, NFT store, and P2E crypto game setup with absolute utility. Since the Tamadoge ecosystem needs less energy to function, it ranks as the best eco-friendly crypto to buy during an energy crisis. 3. Power Ledger was an Ethereum token established in 2016-17 that powers the Power Ledger platform. It debuted on Coinbase in November 2021, with the token's price rising rapidly even while most cryptocurrencies fell in the market-wide crash. 4. Tesla Inc. Although competition has increased recently in the EV sector, there is still one undisputed king, Tesla. Plus, the company is a 2-for-1 green investment by making traditional solar panels as well as photovoltaic shingles. 5. IMPT.io connects users with hundreds of impactful environmental projects around the world with the purpose to reduce carbon emissions and help our planet. IMPT.io also engages thousands of the largest retail brands that allocate a specific percentage of sale margin for environmental projects. End quotes. Now some other honorable mentions, not in any order. 1. Title: GIS named a top socially responsible dividend stock on Nasdaq.com by BNK Invest. 2. Title: 2 renewable energy stocks to watch this week on Nasdaq.com by Joe Samuel. And we have this UK article titled The Magnificent Seven, the top sustainable funds outperforming their sectors, on trustnet.com by Matteo Anelli. Well, these are my top news stories with their stock and fund tips for this podcast, Top Geothermal and Medical Stocks. Now please be sure to click the like and subscribe buttons on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you download or listen to this podcast. This helps bring these podcasts to others like you. And please click the share buttons to share this podcast with your friends and family. Let's promote ethical and sustainable investing as a force for hope in these terribly troubled times. Contact me if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. Talk to you next on November 4th. Bye for now. Learn how to create a simple portfolio reflecting your personal values by taking my 1-hour tutorial. Go to investingforthesoul.com/podcasts and click the link in the right-hand column for my DIY Ethical Sustainable Investing Pays tutorial. Now, I'll mention in the podcast if I have any direct interest or holdings in companies or securities I'm talking about. Furthermore, any news, opinions, analysis, or other information offered by myself, as well as references and information to or from other external sources in this podcast, is provided as general market information and should not be relied upon and thus does not constitute investment advice. Investors should consult their own licensed investment professional before making investments. Also, I will not accept liability for any loss or damage, including without limitation any loss of profit, which may arise directly or indirectly from use of or reliance on information in this podcast. Do contact me at ronr@investingforthesoul.com. Signing off, this is Ron Robbins.